Hello everyone and welcome back to This Is Real Life. I'm your host Sheri, and on today's DIY Wednesday, we're listening to the dogs bark and we are starting the bathroom makeover. It is official. So our first order of business, even though I don't want to do it, we're gonna strip these cabinets. So I bought citrus strip from my local big box hardware store, and we are going to use this to help us get off that paint. Now, many moons ago, I did take on the huge undertaking of redoing all of my kitchen cabinets. In the very first house that I ever owned, the kitchen cabinets were not awesome. I was like, I can redo these. It'll be no problem. I mean, all you have to do is sand, primer, sand, paint, done. Yeah. It was the worst, and I swore to myself after that kitchen cabinet redo that I would never redo cabinets again. And look, here we are redoing cabinets. All in all, redoing your cabinets is not hard. It's just so time consuming, and you want to take the proper precautions to make sure that your paint doesn't chip over time after you're all done, because that would be the worst. It's like I just took the time to redo all of these cabinets, get a nice fresh coat of paint on them, and then 6 months down the line, after opening, closing, dinging them, whatever, you start seeing paint chipping off. Nobody wants that, and that's why you have to take the proper steps initially so you can avoid any paint chipping in the future. Now, if you've redone cabinets in the past, you totally know where I'm coming from. But if you haven't, I will tell you that the one saving grace with this cabinet redo is they're all very simple cabinets. Everything is flat faced. My old kitchen cabinets that I redid, they were those cabinets that have the molding on the outside where it like bumped out and then like stepped down like 3 times. I couldn't just sand them with my palm sander and be done with it. I literally had to sand each one of those little step downs, and that's where it became super tedious and super annoying. But with these, I've got no ridges. So once I have the windows open because I need proper ventilation for this. So you will be hearing my neighbor's super fucking annoying dogs. I'm sorry, it's just gonna happen. But point of the story is that if you have flat cabinetry like I do, you're lucky. While it's still gonna be a pain in the ass, it's not gonna be nearly as big of a pain in the ass as redoing cabinets that have filigree work and shit all over it. So stripping paint is fairly straightforward. Now, if I knew that these cabinets didn't have 80 million coats of paint on them, I would just take everything off, take it out into the garage, and sand away the one paint layer that was there. But since I know that there are a million coats of paint, so I bought this stripper. Now this stripper is very easy. You just shake it up, apply it with the paintbrush, and you let it sit anywhere from 30 minutes to 24 hours. Now, after 30 minutes, you're gonna wanna get a little paint scraper and just see if it's penetrated through all those layers of paint. If it hasn't, then what I would suggest is getting saran wrap and covering all of the stripper with saran wrap. That will keep it from drying out so that you can leave it on longer so that when you go to scrape the paint, you have a much easier time doing it. But before you even think about putting on your paint stripper, you have to remove all your hardware and your cabinets. For the frame, obviously, I have to strip that in this bathroom, hence why I have all my windows open for proper ventilation. But for the doors and the drawers, I'm actually gonna take those out into the garage and strip those and sand those out in the garage. I haven't cleaned anything. This is gonna be a clean as you go situation. So when I take the drawers off, obviously everything in those drawers I will have to put in a tub or a basket or something. And then everything in the cupboards, I literally think I'm just gonna shove as far back as possible because again, I don't have a lot of spare room to be taking everything out of this bathroom and redistributing it into other areas of my house. So anything I can leave in my cabinets, I am going to try to leave in my cabinets. That's what we're doing, so let's get into it. Okay, the dogs won't shut up, so apologies. Also too, apologies, because as you know, if you watched last DIY Wednesday video where I introduced you to this wonderful space, you will know that if I turn on the light, we're gonna hear the fan. So there's gonna be shadows and darkness because I just have my windows open and my bedroom lights on. Yeah, we've got dogs, we've got no lighting, but we're still going for it. So, unfortunately, as I mentioned, these cabinets have layers upon layers of paint. And whoever painted them didn't care about doing a good job because they painted over the hinges. The screws barely have a divot in them for me to get a screwdriver in there to take this hardware off. So this is gonna be fun. I brought in a myriad of tools to do that. I brought my drill. I also brought in some hand tools because sometimes it's just easier. These hinges are so old that they have flathead screws in them. I might have to go back out into the garage and get a blade to like kind of score around where the hinge is in order to get it off. This might take me forever. The good news is the actual hardware looks like it was put on after everything was painted, so these will be easy to take off. It's just the hinge situation. What I want to try to do, I want to see if I can strip the paint off of them as well. I mean, it doesn't hurt. If it doesn't work, I'll go buy new hinges. But if it does work, that saves me money on hinges. So yeah, let's try to get this hardware off. Okay, yay. It took me a little bit of time, not like an hour or anything, but at least like 10 or so minutes. And oh my gosh. I mean, I definitely can tell. It looks like maybe under the white there's like a mint green, and then I actually kind of feel like I see hints of pink. But again, I don't really know for certain how many layers of paint are on here, but oh my god, it's so gloopy and gross, and because there are so many layers of bad paint, it's making it so the cupboards wouldn't close properly and the drawers don't slide properly. So whereas you would want to take a shortcut and just be like, just paint over it, just lightly sand and paint over it, I don't want to keep putting layers and layers and layers of paint on an already shittily painted cabinet. So I am going to take the time to strip them. It sucks. It super sucks. But if I want the doors and the drawers to function properly, this needs to be done. That said, when you get a door off, you want to mark it because these doors, if you switched them, I guarantee they wouldn't fit properly. I've seen a lot of people just write right on the door, but to me that never made sense because you're gonna strip it, you're gonna sand it. So I just got some masking tape and I'm just gonna take a little piece of masking tape. That way I can remove and replace the masking tape during each process of stripping off all of this paint. So I'm gonna do right center. That way I know this one goes here and not over here. So now that we have this labeled, oh my gosh, look at how bad this is. I gotta try to get all that off. I'm gonna do this part out in the garage on a flat surface. I just feel like it would be easier. So I'm gonna continue to take the rest of everything off and then we will reconvene when I have that done. Okay, I did it. I finally got all of the doors off. I pulled out the drawers. I took everything out. I have some stuff piled on my little baby counter here, and I have towels and shit piled over in this corner. Everything else I just kind of shoved back. The insides are also painted white. I don't care about that. I'm just going to strip off the white from all of the facing and from the doors and drawers. Anything on the inside, it's already white. I'm just gonna leave it. I'm not gonna strip it. I'm not gonna sand in there. It's fine. I'm just really more concerned with the outside appearance. So I wanted to get a layer of this stripper onto the face of this cabinet before I went out in the garage and did the doors and the drawers. So I have a little paint thing that I'm gonna pour this into. I also have gloves to protect my hands. It says, just apply this stripper with a paintbrush. So I just got an old, gross little chip brush. It does say we have to shake this well, dump into our container, and then paint on. And like I said, it says wait about 30 minutes, come in and do a little test scrape to see if it's gotten through all of the paint. I highly doubt 30 minutes is going to be enough time for it to get through all of this paint. But we will see. So, all right, that seems good. Now, it's not supposed to have as like horrible of a smell as paint strippers you may be used to, because it's supposed to smell like citrusy. It literally says on here, no harsh fumes. That's why I picked it. Here's what it looks like in my container, and I'm literally just gonna start painting it on. Thickly, if that's a word.
Thickly.
I'm not going to use it sparingly. I'm going to use it very thick. So try not to make a mess with it. I don't want it dripping all over the place, but we're gonna get a nice thick layer onto every single bit of this cabinetry. And then hopefully it works its magic and makes less work for us. That's what I am hoping for. Okay, so it maybe took me like 5 minutes to get this little section painted, and I can already see the paint bubbling. So that's exciting. It's looking good. It's looking real good. Okay, so it's taking me 18 minutes to get this on. I actually came back and glopped it on a little bit thicker. So technically I put 2 coats.
Thickly.
Just so that it like remained thick and goopy. Paint and varnish stripping gel is easy to use because it stays wet and active for up to 24 hours. So I am going to let this sit here without putting saran wrap on it for 30 minutes. I'm gonna run out to the garage and I'm gonna get a coat of this on the doors and drawers, and then we'll come back. I mean, it's bubbling, it's a little hard out. What I'm thinking in my head is that we come back in here with a little paint scraper and all the paint just falls away and leaves, you know, beautiful raw wood cabinetry underneath. I highly doubt that's gonna happen, and I know we're gonna need to sand, but a girl can dream, right? So while I was sitting here doing this, you know, your mind wanders, and I was like, what if I strip this and it's the most beautiful wood underneath, and then I don't wanna paint it? But then I was thinking, what's the likelihood that there's beautiful wood underneath this? Probably slim to none. And that's why I'm really not concerned with getting everything down to the bare wood. I am painting this again. I am going to paint it white again. That's why I don't feel bad about leaving the inside. And the inside, it looks like maybe they only painted like once or twice. I will touch the inside up when I'm painting the exterior, but I'm not gonna strip it and sand it and do all that jazz on the inside. Again, I'm just worried about what it looks like on the outside mostly. So we're gonna let this sit, do its job. I'm gonna go out to the garage. I'm gonna get this stuff on the doors and drawers, and then we'll come back and see where we are here. Oh, and P.S., it doesn't smell at all. I mean, there's a slight smell, but it's actually kind of non-existent. Is that like what they say about carbon monoxide poisoning, the odorless killer? I'm not saying this is an odorless killer, but I'm saying the smell does not bother me. My nose hairs aren't burning. I do have the windows open, but yeah, this is great. I've never used it before. I used the traditional smelly stuff. This is a dream compared to the traditional stuff. Okay, so it's been about an hour and a half since I did the face of the cabinets. Why it took me so long is because I had to take the hinges off of the back of the doors, and that took me forever. But just so you know, I'm not gonna try to save those hinges. Those are disgusting, and it's worth it to me to spend the money on new hinges and have them look nice and work properly than try to take off 80 million years and 80 million layers of paint on those hinges. But the doors and drawers, obviously I could only do one side of the doors for now. Once I strip those, I'll flip them and do the other side. I was contemplating not doing the inside of the doors, But then I got a good look at them and I said, yeah, we got to do the inside, especially since when I removed the hinge, there's literally a stair step down in paint where the hinge used to be. It's wood, and then the paint goes like dink, dink, dink. So yeah, we got to strip those. But we're in here to see what we can remove from this, if anything, or if I have to put another coat on, put some saran wrap on, and let this sit like overnight. So I got my paint scraper, so let's test. Oh, I also have a bag so I can put all of my paint scrapers in there. Ooh, there's green under the white. It might be like, we get the white layer off, then we gotta get the green layer off, then the pink layer off, whatever. So let's go in. Ooh, very satisfying. Okay, we definitely have green. Look at that. It didn't penetrate through the green. No, not at all. But it did get through the white. I wonder, you know what? I got a plastic scraper, but I'm wondering if a metal scraper would work better. No, we're just getting off the layers of white. But if I can get off this white, then we'll go back in with more remover and get rid of the green and whatever else is under there. Yep, this is my life. Yay me. Okay, so it is the next day. I got all of the paint stripped off of the face, and I have the drawers and doors in the garage. This morning I went ahead and took one layer of the paint off of the inside of the doors. I did have to strip the outside of the doors, the drawers, and the face twice. I did lightly sand, and I've also cleaned with just some vinegar and water. I wiped everything down. I wanted to get going on painting this because I got some new paint and it's expensive. I have been perusing the YouTubes for helpful tips and tricks. Even though I've done it before and I know the process, I just wanted to see what everybody else was doing. And I stumbled across this gal who was redoing her boys' bathroom. She was saying that she uses this Beyond Paint. Bonds, primes, seals, cabinets, countertops, furniture, and more, all in one. No stripping, no sanding, no priming. We all know I had to strip and sand because this situation was horrible. However, if you didn't have a situation like mine and you just wanted to freshen up your cabinets, according to this, you could just paint right over the top. 2 coats is all you need. And I'm thinking too, if you had those like really slick, smooth, kind of wood looking veneer-y cabinets, this would probably go right over that. Now here's the downside. This little tiny baby 1 quart container costs $56. I know. I had a panic attack when I saw the price. The Lowe's in my town is the only place where you can actually go in store and pick up Beyond Paint. You can order it online and have it shipped to the store or probably shipped directly to your house. I bought 1 quart because the gal I was watching said her gallon lasted her forever. I'm hoping this 1 quart does everything I need, and maybe it can even do the built-in cabinet that I want to do when I'm ready to do that. And then I was like, okay, 1 quart, $56. How many quarts are in a gallon? There's 4. The gallon is a much better price. So if this works out and I love it, and you have a bunch of cabinets to redo, the gallon is $118. I know. The only way I'm justifying this purchase is, number 1, you don't have to buy primer. A can of primer is pretty expensive already. I don't even know, but I feel like it's more than $30. A can of paint, I mean, I just bought the wall paint and I think I spent like $32, and that was like the cheapest paint. So if you're looking for like durable cabinet paint, you're probably in it for like $35, $40. Now I know those are both gallon-sized containers. However, if you have to prime, then sand, then paint coat 1, then sand, then paint coat 2, and then lightly sand. That's a lot of time. With this, apparently, you just paint, let it dry, paint again, and you're done. So, Time is money, so you have to think of it that way. And that's what I was thinking of when I justified spending $56 on this 1 quart container. I know. But if it works and it's amazing, then it's worth it, right? Especially for a shit job like this. We want it to go quick and we want it to look good. It says perfect for wood, linoleum, glass, laminate, plastic, varnish, tile, masonry, metal, painted surfaces. It does say the surface must be clean, dry, grease, oil, and wax free, which mine are. Beyond Paint has a lightly textured matte/eggshell finish, which eliminates stroke marks, provides a finish that conceals imperfections, and offers versatility in application. We're supposed to use a microfiber nap roller. So I got this. We need a brush, but for stippling crevice areas. The gal that I watched, she said, you do not want to brush this on. You want to use your brush for like the hard to reach areas, and then don't brush it. Like tappa it in, and then go in with the roller to smooth everything out. So no brushing. Roller as much as you can. 2 coats are recommended. Allow 2 to 4 hour dry time in between coats. It does say dry to the touch in 2 to 4 hours. It's water based, and it does say this quart equals 10 to 12 cabinet doors, drawer fronts, and frame pieces. So it says we should be able to do a lot with our $56. Okay, so I got a little tray and we're gonna start stippling. Oh, sealed for my protection. It does smell pretty strong. It smells way stronger than paint. Oh my gosh. Woo! Yeah, open a window. Open a window. All right, I'm gonna pour it in. It's pretty thick. Look at how thick that is. Very thick indeed. Stippling. So it says mush or stipple. So getting up in these crevices, I probably should have taped my tile, but I didn't. So far, so good. Shove it up into here. Now, I didn't tape off my side walls. I'm gonna be painting them anyway, so I'm not gonna tape anything. I'm just gonna go for it. So. Okay, I've stippled all I can stipple. That didn't take very long at all. Now it's time for the roller. So let's get this open. No! Oh, Sheri. I don't think I have a roller that fits these. Motherfucker. I hope I have some of these out in the garage. Oh my God, how did I not pay attention to that? Hold, please. Okay, thankfully, I do have a premium microfiber roller that has the skinny, but it does say 9/16 inch nap, and they recommend 3/8 inch nap. So I don't want to go to the store, plus I already dumped out all the paint. Oh my God, this is really fluffy. This is not. Okay, so here's what I propose. That we use this for at least coat 1, and plus a lot of this is gonna be, I'm justifying it right now, yes. A lot of this is gonna be covered up by doors and drawers. The only main big focal point is this right here. So guess what? We're using this. We're using it, it's what I have. God dang it. Come on, paint companies. If it's a small roller, have a skinny hole. Is that too much to ask for? Jeez Louise. All right. Oh gosh, does this even fit in my tray? No. Son of a bitch. Could everything just not go as planned? See, it's not fitting. I'm making it fit. Oh Lord, love a duck. I got paint everywhere. So let's just do it. All right, we're going in. Rolling. This is working just fine. I call myself a professional. I was in a rush and I was so excited. Okay, seriously? All right, well, I'm gonna try to make this work and at least get one good coat with this. Okay, so I have coat 1 done, it almost looks like I dripped the paint, even though I didn't. It's just my stippling technique put on more paint than the roller did. So I kind of went back and stippled over areas. But then I also noticed if you go back, it kind of picks up what you already laid down. So then it was like, okay, stop it. It does say it covers a multitude of sins. So I'm hoping that coat 1 counts as one of those multitudes of sins, because I am not super pleased with coat 1. It could be my application. It could be the fact that I didn't use the right roller. The roller didn't fit in my paint tray. So many things. I really should have just aborted the mission and poured all the paint back into the jug and went to the store. But I didn't. I'm hoping everything dries okay. And then coat 2 really brings it all together. So I'm just gonna put my paintbrush in a baggie. I really wanna use these rollers, so I'm gonna find a roller that fits this. Ay, good thing I haven't done the doors and the drawers yet, because that's really what's gonna take up a bulk of this. So not super pleased yet, but hopefully we can turn this around. Okay. So I went out, I got the right roller to the tune of $7.49, which makes me so mad because I have a million of these. Well, now I got one of these. I'm just gonna get the second coat on off camera, and then I will let you know how it went with my new fancy roller that fits into my tray and is the right thickness. And yeah, that's what I'm gonna do right now. Okay, coat 2 on the face is done, and technically I also touched up, so I don't have to touch this anymore. All I have to do is paint the doors and the drawers. Now I am much happier with the second coat. I touched up all of my areas and it is looking nice, very nice indeed. Going into it after coat 1, I was like, oh no, but now it looks nice. And I've used this much. Yeah, there's plenty of paint in here. It does go a long way. I think putting it on thicker is better. I really kind of went ham on the second coat as far as really getting the paint in there thick. Yeah, I'm loving it. So yay, hopefully the doors and drawers turn out just as nice. Okay, cabinets are painted. Doors are hung. I did have a small issue with hanging the doors because I went and bought new hinges and the holes didn't line up. That was kind of like trials and tribulations because I couldn't just use the old holes that were already in the cabinetry. I kind of had to make new holes. It's kind of a tight fit in the middle here. I mean, they close. They don't really rub together all that bad. I mean, worst case. I could lightly sand and then just touch up paint that. But I gotta tell you guys, I know it's expensive, but this Beyond Paint, it's nice. Now, I did do 3 coats on the doors and drawers. I was gonna just do 2 and I hung them with 2 coats on. I really think this whole counter cabinet situation was held together with paint and a prayer, because when I removed all the paint and then painted new, I could see splits in the wood still after 2 coats. The insides, I just did 2 coats, and you can definitely tell it's not fully covered, but I didn't care. That was on the inside. I wasn't gonna paint 3 coats on the inside. I did do 3 coats on the outside, and everything is looking great. Super great. I'm super impressed with it. So now that they're hung, all we need to do is put on the super cute flower handles. In case you forgot, originally the hardware on the doors and drawers, they were 2 holes, and my new flower cute hardware is a 1-holer. Don't get discouraged and think that you have to find hardware that has 2 holes if your piece currently is a 2-holer. If you find a super cute knob and it's a 1-holer, it's not that big of a deal. I just wood fillered all the holes and you can't even tell. Looks super smooth, especially after painting it with Beyond Paint. And so then once you lightly sand the wood filler smooth and you paint, it's as if knobs didn't even exist. Hardware was never on here, it's brand new. Now that I've got all of that in, the only thing I have to do is figure out where I want. Did you just see how cute that was? Did you just see how cute that was? Come on. All I have to do is figure out where I want these placed. You know, it's funny. It's funny that you ask that. Where are you going to place these, Sheri? Well, you know, it's funny you ask. You know my friend Stacy. She's been on the channel. You guys met her. She taught us how to make the chunky hand knit blankets. Well, I don't know if I was the inspiration, but I'd like to say I was the inspiration. Because when I started redoing my bathroom, she got a wild hair and she's like, oh, I want to redo the bathroom at the cabin. Interestingly enough, she also went out and got Beyond Paint. She hasn't painted her cabinetry yet, but she did have these 2 nightstands that actually I got for free from another friend, and then I gave him to Stacy. So Stacy bought the Beyond Paint in like a sage color and redid the nightstands, and they look really good. They look really, really good. Since she got inspired to do her cabinetry, she wanted new knobs. So she called me and she's like, well, I found these knobs. Is there a rule as to like where you should place the knobs? And typically it's like 1 inch down, 1 inch over, and knobs are usually placed about here. While that may be a rule, my opinion is rules are meant to be broken. If you don't want to put your knob right here, don't put your knob right here. You want to put your knob in the middle? Put it in the middle. You want to put it over here? Put it over here. You want to put it right here? Put it right here. It's your knob, it's your drawer, it's your cupboard. You can do whatever you want. I do want my drawer knobs centered up and down and side to side, but because these doors are kind of hidden by this pop out for the sink, I don't want my knobs up here because it kind of hides them. So I think I'm gonna do my knobs on my doors a little lower. I don't think I want to go middle, but maybe I do go middle. But I think I want it up a little bit from middle. So maybe like around this area here, I thought might look cute. In order to do that, because I don't want to mark up my beautiful white paint job and do like measure and tape marks, what I'm gonna do, the tape template that I used when I made the cornhole scoreboards. So what I wanna do is I have my painter's tape, and these are completely fully dry. They've been curing in this bathroom for about 24 hours. So I'm gonna like eyeball the center here just with a strip of tape. I also brought in a level, not so much for the drawers, but I do wanna make sure all my knobs are level across my cabinets. I am gonna measure directly on the tape. I'm gonna leave the tape on the door and drill with the tape on the door. Because if I didn't and just marked the drawer and then drilled, I could risk like marring my paint job and splintering. So if I leave the tape on, I'm essentially hoping that I protect my paint job underneath. That's my center dot line right there. And I need to get a drill bit that's just a hair smaller than the screw that is intended for the knob. I'm going with this one. So what's so funny is when Stacy had called and asked me if there was a rule where the knobs go, I told her, no, you can do whatever you want. And then just take your tape, mark it, yada, yada, yada. Well, she did all of that. And then she texted me and she's like, can you stop at my house after work? Because I'm too nervous to drill into the door because I don't want to mess it up. Be fearless. Just do it. Like, even if I screwed this up, would it be a pain in the ass? Yes. But is it fixable? 100%. So I think that's why I was telling editor John, it's like when it comes to DIYs, maybe you're nervous about doing something because you're nervous that you're gonna mess it up. Well, if you keep living in those nerves of, I'm not gonna attempt it because I think I'm gonna mess it up, well then you're never gonna do anything. And just know, everything's fixable. It's fixable. Will it take a little bit more time? Yeah. But can you do it? 100%. And if you fuck it up, it's nothing a little wood putty and some paint can't correct. So you'll be fine. Just be fearless about it and go for it. All you need to do is get your drill, set it right on that hole, take it easy, go straight, and just drill. And voila, we have our hole. Now, I'm gonna take this tape and put it on that drawer, line it up properly, and use this same hole. And look, I didn't mar anything on my drawer. It is beautiful. And then we'll do all the doors, and then we'll put our knobs on. Okay, yay. All of my holes are drilled and everything is looking level. All we have to do is put the knobs on. Oh my gosh. So, should be easy enough. We go in from the back side, drill this in, and then get my cute knob. So cute. Oh, come on. That's cute. And clearly you can see I decided to go center of the door, top and bottom. That's cute. That's really cute. I am loving it. We did it. It's done. Knobs are on. Are you ready for the final reveal? Here it comes. Dun 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 dun. Look at them. They are so beautiful. They look brand new. I mean, like they legit just came from a 1954 Better Homes and Gardens Architectural Digest. They look so good. You can see that not all of the dings are gone, but the paint sure did a wonderful job covering up. Now, things like this. Could I have gone in and wood filled and sanded? Yeah, but I didn't want to, because from a distance, it looks great. If anybody comes in this close and looks and says, oh, there's a ding right there, you know what I say to that? You get the hell out of my house. Everything is perfect and clean and new hinges without any paint on them. It's just fresh and clean and wonderful. Oh, and I know, I'm sure you probably already saw. I'm not gonna show it to you all the way, but I started painting. I mean, and look at how cute, like standing out in my bedroom, looking into the bathroom. They are so darling. I can't get over it. And because I don't think we got that great of a before shot, these are the cabinets in Davis's or the guest bathroom. I mean, look, at least in this bathroom, they did change out the hinges. They're not all painted over. But look at all of this just grime and grossness and makes me want to come in here and redo these. Now, obviously there's like dirt I could wipe off, but for the most part, gross, right? This is what my bathroom cabinets used to look like. Gross. And now they look like this. Not gross. So, yay. One project down, a few more left. I mean, really, all that I have to finish here is I do want to clean out, obviously, the insides. Oh, that's kind of paint in there. Pull everything that's supposed to go in my drawers and cupboards from my bedroom and now put them back in here. But there's part of me that's hesitating to do that because I do want to wallpaper this wall after I take the mirror out. And if I have extra wallpaper, I want to line the drawers and the shelves in here with my wallpaper. I might not organize everything right now and I might just throw shit in there for the time being and then organize them towards the end of the bathroom makeover. But yeah, cabinets weren't difficult at all. If you guys have like flat doors and flat drawers, and if you don't need to strip them, this Beyond Paint, I'm telling you, I know it's expensive, but the time it saves, and I have about maybe halfway. So who knows? I might be able to use this and redo the guest bathroom cabinets. It was easy. It saved so much time. There's no sanding in between. Paint, wait 2 hours. Paint, wait 2 hours. Possibly paint again, and then you're done. It's that easy. Expensive, but time is money too. So this made it go a lot easier. I'm so happy I happened upon the YouTuber that was redoing her bathroom and used this paint because otherwise I wouldn't have known about it. Cabinets, you can do it. It's a pain in the ass, but I stretched this out over a weekend and another day. So in a weekend, especially if you didn't have to strip them, you could easily knock out bathroom cabinets. In this very tiny bathroom that you guys don't believe is very tiny, so I just measured it and it's 6 feet this way. Now I'm not counting the little weird 19-inch rectangle, but from edge of shower to here is 6.5 feet. From door to counter is 5 feet. So it's basically like a 5x6 bathroom. Yeah, that's not that big. So for all of you that were in the comments of the first video saying it's not that small, okay, it might not be that small, but it's 5x6. Come on. So yeah, cabinets, done. Check that off the list. Now, I do have the mirror and the electrical and the built-in that I want to do here. I have started painting, so I need to finish up painting. But as far as next major projects, part of me wants to do this wall before I do the built-in. But I don't know. We'll just have to see. And you'll just have to make sure that you have your notification bell on so that you don't miss whatever's gonna happen next in this tiny bathroom. So if you like this video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. Be sure to ring that notification bell so that you are alerted to all of the DIY Wednesday videos I push out, which is every other Wednesday at 5:30 Pacific Standard Time. Make sure you share this video with your family and friends. And as always, thanks for hanging out.